And now we wait. Let's pop out the chat. As we do. As we do. As we do. What's up, Sadexon, the Ninja, Dad? Chance, Ocean Lake Boy, Not, Blood Flames, Dynaloom. A lot of the usual suspects, G1, Dark Knight. We're going to do our usual, where we give this a, first off,
Is it? Is it weird right now? My mic is static. How about right now? Is it good now? Okay, I understand what that was. Okay, it's fine now. We're good now? All right, cool. I had to reset my soundboard real fast to actually get my mic was not connected. There might be something right now. We're not going to have background music. I don't know if you guys usually hear the background music because I put it so low. But the... Oh, hey, I'm streaming. Good to go? Yeah, I usually have my music so low in the background that I don't even know if you guys even hear it, so there's no real point. But yeah, no. Another day, another episode, people. Cameo from Brother Wop, of course, of course. But yeah, we did it. We made another episode, guys. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Hell yeah for the shiny mudkip. But yeah, so episode 13, that's what we're discussing today. And we're going to switch to a more appropriate thing. The stars of the show today. Oh, today was a good episode. You guys do not know how long I've been waiting to make this episode. Like, I've been dying to get to the Seafoam Caverns. Or Seafoam Islands. I keep calling them Seafoam Caverns. But it was just because this is where I knew I wanted to do the, the Jinx, the Ninetales resolution. I had the idea very early on, once Ninetales was a part of the team and I had to plan out it getting along with Ash, that putting them in a survival situation where they have to win and work together was the way that Ash and Ninetales were going to truly get together. Oh, actually, I'm actually going to throw a few more things on screen because I think you, just in case you guys, now you can get a better look at them from the episode. See, now it's weird for me. I don't know if you guys ever hear the music because I put it so low, but now I don't have music playing in my ears, and it's very odd. It's, like, so quiet. Ice Shuriken, Ice Kunai, Ice Log. All of Jinx's icy tools. And I will do some spoilers for Jinx. You guys will get Jinx's backstory, maybe not necessarily in the way you think, where it's like an Ash adventure, but I'll touch on it in this stream here. Hi, Mike. I'm streaming, by the way. So you're good. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, let me do something for myself. I'm actually gonna play the lo-fi I can't play right now in my ears because it's wigging me out. It's wigging me out right now. I'm so full of energy right now. It's great. There we go. Okay, that's good. Okay, just making sure that it didn't actually bleed into my mic somehow. Okay. So, episode 13. We have not only the Ninetales resolution, we have Ninja Jinx. I'll address actually one thing real fast. I need to know, will Tangela be able to evolve or will it not be able to due to Kanto not knowing it could yet? It won't evolve, screen. So the way I treat it is that we're in the open world of Pokemon. Like, every other region still exists. They're not necessarily going through the story of the games all at the same time, but like Univa's still there, Alola's still there, all of that. So you'll get little references. But I won't evolve Pokemon up until the generation they became available or close to it, like I'm doing with Gen 2 Pokemon being here early. But but so like, you know, I'll do a Unova reference or something, but you won't get Tangle into Tangrowth and Kanto. Suffice to say. Kind of like Charizard chills, yeah. Fun fact, the ice backgrounds were taken from one of the banned Jinx episodes. I needed an icy cave. These are actually the ice caves in Johto, funny enough. Except for the final battle area, that is taken from the Pokemon Journeys battle versus Articuno. So this is actually a culmination of stuff for me. It is because not only was I doing the Ninetales resolution, which I knew you guys were going to love, I plan to give Ash Jinx for a bit now. I knew Jinx was coming. And there's a commenter, by the way, who I know has been posting, have Ash catch Jinx. I forget who you are, but I saw that, and every time I had to hold back, like, oh, you don't even know. So Jinx was especially going to be a challenge for me. Ever since Beedrill, I've gotten a little bit of a complex where I really like giving you guys characters that, or Pokemon specifically, that aren't typically liked, and then writing them and doing them well enough that you guys like them. And in my mind, Jinx is the magnum opus of that. That is the ultimate, oh, I could fuck things up if I go for this. Luckily, seems like you guys all like her. Also, I made her an extra catch instead of a main team member, because main team members are going to be around almost all the time. The 6th Ranger over here, you know, isn't really like, if no one liked her, I could still use her, but also she doesn't have to be on screen all the time. Does Jinx have her own swings that she uses to reminisce about her tragic backstory? Of course, always. But we will be seeing more of Jinx, by the way. Jinx is not just gone, and we will see her once in the league, and that's it. We will actually talk to Jinx. That's another thing, too. Ever since the Pokemon only episode, last episode, you guys really like when the Pokemon talk. I really like when the Pokemon talk. So the Pokemon talking to each other is going to be a regular thing now. So you can actually get input on the Pokemon's thoughts, not once like one episode out of the region, but like every episode if it happens. I chose Jinx, one, because a little fun. There's a future thing that I'm going to do that I need, that Ash having Jinx for is necessary, but also because I realized that I need another Pokemon. This was a very unique challenge for me, but also Gary has Magmar, Green has Electabuzz, and I was like, I complete the trio with Jinx. And when it came to making Jinx, as you can see, she has an ice ninja mask, and she's a ninja. That's not because I'm some big Naruto fan. I'm actually not a big Naruto fan. I used to be as a child. I'm not really anymore. But here's the thing. I did something sneaky. The reason why Jinx is a ninja is because of Greninja. Now, let me explain. So, what is the problem with Jinx the Pokemon? Do I still have my Jinx file? Like, beyond the controversy of Jinx, why do people not like Jinx? What's there not to like at this Pokemon? Is it because it doesn't evolve like the other two? No. It's not because even the design is bad. It is one simple reason, I think. It's the face. The face is it's really hard to look at. Like, so if you're looking at a Jinx on screen, the face is off-putting. It's very off-putting all the time. So, what's my solution to that? We cover the face, and suddenly she's better. But you can't just cover the face and be like, why is Jinx's face covered, you know? The reason for that is I'm like, oh, I need a reason. What if I made her like a ninja? You know, and she used a bunch of cool ice ninja techniques and all that. And I'll actually go over her entire move list in this video, because that's how proud I am. Rose, shout out to Red Rose. the man, the origin behind Skull Bash Golduck or Psyduck to initiate headaches. But when it came to Jinx, we were like, we got to make Jinx cool. Like, and by the way, I went to Abdul, Samurai Trainer Z, and Rose, and I was like, I'm going to do Jinx. And they were like, that's a bad idea. I don't like that. And, well, not exactly that. You know, they're never as disparaging. But, like, you know, you got to really explain an idea out if you're going to do it. But I did Ninja Jinx because people latched onto Greninja. Not only because Greninja's cool, but, like, Naruto, despite my not being my favorite show in the world, Jinx is, or ninjas are cool. And people like ninjas, no matter what. So if I make her a gigantic Naruto reference, I thought that would do well to get people on board with her. Tangela backstory soon, by the way. Within the next couple episodes. The Pokemon talking is so much fun. I love doing it. Because it helps me not have to, like, struggle as a writer to have to, like, show you the personality through actions. Well, I mean, that sounds so bad as a writer to say. Like, I don't have to show you guys. I can just tell you guys. No. Basically, you still want to show how a Pokemon acts or a character acts through their actions, but being able to have them talk with amongst each other is very useful because it gives you guys a very clear sense of how they act. Like, I didn't actually realize how much I didn't know how Tangela acted until I wrote him out. Like, I thought he was Arbok, actually. Not quite how Arbok is, but the Dunderhead. And then as I wrote him and Arbok together, I realized, oh, Tangela's not an idiot. He's just, like, ADHD hyper, you know? He's just excitable. He's just a little weird gremlin kind of guy, you know? Yeah, so I went with Ninja Jinx, you know? I thought that would be a good way. The reason why Arbok looks the way he does is I took the color from the original Arbok art, which I just chose at random. I didn't really want to do the giant, like, you know, very purple, so I just made kind of a darker purple, which is almost black, but it's not really. And he's big because he's big, you know? I just decided to make him a big Arbok. That's pretty much why. Man, Plan Nexus, you're new. So, why Giselle over Misty? I didn't really have a good storyline for Misty. I just, like, she's trying to become a water-type master. I also never really cared for Misty. Like, she never really, like, excited me as a writer to write. And so I thought, what if I replaced her with Giselle and gave her, like, this learning how to actually be a Pokemon trainer arc? And I thought that was a good way about going about it. Sorry, an update thing came up and I was like, what? Whatchamacallit? I'm so hyper and so happy right now. I'm, like, so energized, guys. I hope you know. Just fucking, yeah. I need to get back to working out. That was humiliating. Why did I do that? Oh, God, don't flex those muscles. But back to the topic at hand. I made, you know, I wanted to do Jinx. I thought it was cool, you know, and all of Jinx's moves are illegal moves Jinx can use. They don't look like Jinx moves because me and Rose came up with a way she uses the moves. So, we're going to go over those moves right now for you guys. I know I don't usually do this. I'm, like, usually like, oh, spoilers, but no. So, oh, this isn't even on my sheet. I need my story team's sheet. Yeah, Jinx is 100% female, like they all are. So, Jinx's 6 moves are Ice Punch, Blizzard. Wait, is Ice Punch a Gen 1 move? Did I already fuck up? Okay, yeah, cool. I'm thinking of Ice Fang. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm all over the place. Jinx's moves are Ice Punch, Blizzard, Reflect, Metronome, Substitute, and Seismic Toss. And I'm going to go over why I gave all those moves. So the way, you know how Jinx summoned the Kunai, basically she manifests the Ice Punch in her hand and turns it into Kunai. The Blizzard is a blizzard of shurikens, but she can still do normal Blizzard. Like, she can still do the moves as normal. You also see at one point, All right, I'm gonna give a little spoiler because I'm really energized. At one point, I'm gonna do Ice Punch is gonna be a Rasengan. I gotta do it. I gotta do it once. Reflect is her clone technique. It's why there were multiple of her. So basically, like she, you know, makes the environment misty and murky with like a low level blizzard, and then like summons like a reflect clone of herself. Essentially, it's why it's like a reflection of her, so it looks like her. That's why it shattered, you know, when it got hit by fire and all that. I'm not watching Steel Boy run, and I think Jinx is 100% always a girl. But then for Metronome, I'm gonna actually draw this, so you're actually gonna see the like actual art of it at one point for the future going forward. But Jinx does hand signs like Naruto, and then does the metronome, or that's how she does metronome, and it's not gonna be like exact, but like I think it'd be kind of cool. And tell me if this is too powerful or too weird, you know, where basically by doing the hand signs, it lets her channel the metronome a little bit better. So it's not quite as random, and she get kind of a desired outcome. It's why she was able to hit Surf twice. So that's why. And then Seismic Toss is a reference to Primary Lotus, Rock Lee. And a dog is scratching at my door. So who's going to be the Chidori equivalent? That's Pikachu. Pikachu's just a living Chidori. I can do a giant Rasen Shuriken. It's not an exact thing, you know. There will be Jinx will use metronome at some point and fuck up. Like it's not gonna be exact. I always control metronome anyways. The metronome is controlled by what I write, so it's not exactly like she's gonna be able to do everything. But it's one of those things where I thought that'd be fun. You know, the you kind of made Arbok broken. It has Intimidate to lower attack, Glare to slow down opponents, a Wrap to limit mobility, Toxic Deal Chip, and Heart Beam for raw defense power. Probably has the best moveset. That's great because I made that moveset last minute. I made it this morning when I was finishing up the video. Huh? Is my mic weird again? Hmm. Is it better now? I have such good quality stuff. Why is it crunchy? Is it still crunchy? Let's pull up the stream on my phone. Hang on, we're gonna fix audio. I don't know why it's doing this. What the fuck? Still weird, still weird. What if I close that? Does that help? Does this help? I gotta catch up to stream a little bit. What if I do this? I made it a little bit more quiet. Does that help at all? Not really? Well, gosh darn it. Let's see. A little better. All right. How about now? Are we good? Are we back to normal? This better? I gotta wait for the chat to catch up, so I'm gonna talk a little bit. So we doing this. You know? Okay, better. It's not my microphone that's the problem. It's my Go XLR. It's the thing the mic goes through. So I think I gotta get a new one or a better one or something, because the program's fucking up for me constantly. Okay, sweet. We're back on track with 46 viewers. I was gonna be very sad if I have to end it. By the way, if like the mic fucks up to a point where it's super bad and I can't fix it, we're just gonna go to a phone stream. So the stream isn't over if we do that. Let's see. Oh yeah, Brian, you're the guy who really wants Magmar for Sinnoh. We'll see. We'll see. What happened to Jinx's ball? Oh, so for clarification, on what happened with Jinx's Pokeball, it's the Pokeball system. It's when you have more than 6 Pokemon, it gets transferred back to Oak's lab. So Ash doesn't know that. He's never caught more than a full team of 6. So to him, he's just like, he was just like, oh, did it die? What just happened? I've never seen a Pokeball magically teleport away. Why do you have Golduck still hold his head? Golducks aren't supposed to have headaches anymore. Well, he still does. I mean, he uses his headaches for power, essentially, to multiply his psychic ability. But he doesn't get headaches all the time, but it's just kind of a casual pose for him. Like, you ever meet someone who always has their hands in their pockets, and it's just because they're like, oh, this is just how I hold my hands. You know, it's what I do with my hands. Golduck's just so used to having his hands against his head, he just does that all the time. Don't you think it's a little much that half of Ash's Pokemon have something different? Cubone, Cosplay, Black Arbok, and Masked Jinx? Not at all. I mean, they're your main characters. Like, they're the characters you're following. Of course they look cool. Like, doesn't mean no one else in the world doesn't have an oddball Pokemon, but also it's to emphasize that they're oddballs. You know, it's sort of like asking, like, isn't it a little weird if Ash has a shiny Pokemon on his team? Because other people don't. You know, it's kind of weird that he has such a rare thing. It's like, you know, it's giving them personality. You know, it's not going to be a consistent thing throughout everything, but you're going to find little oddballs on all of Ash's teams. I do know Marowak can get Fire Blast and Blizzard. Will we give her these moves? Maybe, probably not. I don't think so. Not exactly those 2 moves, because Jinx has Blizzard and Ninetales has Fire Blast, and it's like, I don't mind mixing moves a little bit and stuff, but, you know, it's one of those things where I don't want to have to double up too badly, because I want Pokemon to have like kind of a diverse movesets in a lot of ways. What's the reasoning for the Jinx on Ash's team? I wanted to use Jinx. And I wanted to make you guys like Ash's Jinx. That's what that was the real reason behind it. Is I wanted to, oh, I can take the fixing microphone down. I wanted to get you guys, I got so many comments how people didn't like Beedrill or Tangela before I put them on Ash's team and gave them personalities and did all this stuff. So I wanted the challenge of seeing if I could make you guys like a Jinx. That was the real reason behind everything. I also like Jinx. I like Jinx. You know, it's just one of those things. Can Ash catch a Porygon? I mean, it's possible. What team will we see in the Orange Islands? Orange Islands, actually, you'll see a much more, like, we're going to still be pretty main team focused until the league. Like, the additional Pokemon Ash just catches before the league, you're going to see them, but they won't be, like, on the team, like that, you know? But, in Orange Islands, you're going to see Ash rotating a lot more through all of them. It's, characters, the weird, like, the... Is my mic crunchy again? I saw an update thing appear on my screen for my program, and I'm wondering if it messed up my audio again. Characters, the weird, like, Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. Wait, are we not good? Am I crunchy? It cut out for a second? Okay, okay. All right, we're all good. All right, all good. The program was just updating randomly. That's why it did that. I gotta get a new fucking box. Okay, cool. Cool, we're good. We're good. We're good. Yeah. So also one thing I'm kind of doing, like, it's why I have the weird Cubone, the weird Arbok, and the weird Jinx, you know? Also, well, for one, also, I don't think Arbok's that weird. He's just big. That's really all his defining trait is. Like, you'll see, I mean, like, Jinx's color scheme, as you could see here, isn't the exact same, like, taken from the Jinx art. So, like, I'm always gonna do weird little, like, color differences, like, as long as they're not huge ones. Like, it's a dark purple versus the brighter purple. Like, we have art of Arbok with the darker colors in general, you know? So it's not, that guy's not that weird to me. What I'm doing with Cubone and Jinx here, it's more of experimentation. It's more of me trying to, that's what all of Kanto is experimentation. It's me trying to kind of figure out some things in the series. Like, personally, after a while, I do think Cubone's a little over-designed, you know? And it's something I'll probably fix at one point sometime. But it was my first attempt at a creative mod like her. You know, Jinx is a little bit less designed like that. Just the mask, and you can see the fishnet, you know, chainmail, whatever it is in Naruto, you know, on her arms. It's not that different. You know, the mask is made of ice. She can make the mask. So, like, you're going to see me kind of refine the process of the team as we go forward. But, like, Kanto's a little bit of experimentation. How did Jigglypuff beat Jinx? You'll figure that out when you see Jigglypuff's moveset at some point. But also, I like to do the creative mons, by the way, because not every Pokemon's the same. Not everyone is just the same, you know, mold. You're, like, everyone's a person. Everyone's their own character. So, there's certain traits that, like, are genetically built in to Pokemon, but not everyone is the same. So it's fun to show that off. Will Golduck get his revenge on Hitmonchan? Possibly. Why did you give Arbok Bite? It's a dark type move that you gave him when they're in Gen 1 and they're not in Gen 2. So fun fact, Brian, Bite was in Gen 1. It was just a normal type move. So it's just a normal Bite attack. If I were to give Ash one starter per region, who would I give? Kanto, I'd give Bulbasaur. I think I'd do Swampert. Or no, I think right now I do Blaziken in Hoenn. I skipped Johto completely. For Alligator in Johto. Or maybe Typhlosion. I go back and forth with two. I think I would go Empoleon just because he didn't use it out of, you know, just because I'm curious, because we already have an example of Torterra and we have an example of Infernape, and as much as I would rather do Infernape, I don't want to, whatchamacallit? I don't want the shadow of Infernape if I wrote an Infernape. Superior in Gen 5, or honestly any of the Gen 5 starters would be fun. Gen 6, I would do Delphox to be different. Gen 7, I would do probably I would still, Incineroar or Rowlet, I think, still. Gen 8, I go Sobble. Though Gen 8, I would go Sobble, but I wouldn't be mad with Rillaboom, but I wouldn't do Rillaboom because Zach did Rillaboom. Gen 9, none of them. Can Leaf appear in the anime? Oh, yeah, Green is been here, but she'll appear again. Are you going to give Silver his Pokemon Crystal Legacy arc or a different one? Love your videos. Possibly. It depends if I do Silver or not. I haven't written out Johto. So after we're done with Kanto and Orange Islands, I'm going to fully write out Johto. Not fully write out, but the basic outline of how I'm supposed to go. Try and bank a few episodes. In the meantime, we're going to have some fun YouTube videos in the meantime. Like, one of them I want to do is I want to get my buddies and I want to do like an American Idol, or I guess The Voice now. Man, I'm so old, American Idol. Where you guys give me your Ash Kanto teams, and we rate them and stuff, and then we do scores and all that. For fun. And then also I want to do something where you guys, like, I'll do a community post or a YouTube video where you guys give me your list of what if scenarios you want to see, and I'll make videos on them. Or maybe like a compilation video of like a bunch of different ones. What's Jigglypuff's political view? He's an anarchist. I don't know. He likes chaos. Or law of the jungle. If Ash uses Jinx in a battle against Gary and Ash loses with her, will Jinx disobey him and follow Gary? Maybe if he lost right now, but not after a while. Like, after Jinx gets to know Ash, she wouldn't. Because she would see he's a loyal sensei, master? I don't know what the correct term is. How does your shiny Porygon hunt? How goes your shiny Porygon hunt? I'm still stuck in Gulag known as Oak Slab Hunt for starter. Nothing yet. I haven't shiny hunted in a while. I've been doing this episode and playing a little bit of Pokopia every day. This is very One Piece. One thing I got to say about this is very One Piece like, and please keep it up with unique personality and fighting style. Thank you so much. That's a great compliment. I love that. That's what I got. I mean, One Piece is a big inspiration for me. I don't know what are you talking about Gengar? I don't know what Grangar is. Gives Ash Sneasel Gen 2? Possibly. Has the team perception of Ninetales changed after this episode? No and yes. I mean, no one saw Ninetales' development with Ash. Misoji, you scared the fuck out of me real fast. I want you to know, because you wrote, holy shit. I just saw peak as fuck, or that sounds peak as fuck. I was like, is my mic peaking? Oh my God. Is it more mic trouble? No. But not everyone saw the emotional arc Ninetales went on with Ash, or the discussion they had. Golduck has... I don't want to say Golduck's perception has changed, because Golduck's always kind of held the idea that Ash will eventually get through the Ninetales. And he never doubted that Ash would actually succeed. Pikachu, maybe he's like got a little bit of a higher regard. Tangela still thinks she sucks. Arbok, he liked Ninetales from the beginning. Cubone and Tangela were off playing Star Wars. Or Starmie War Turtles, as I saw. That was fucking funny. Can Ash catch a Porygon in the next episode? I don't know. But every time you ask, the chances go down a little bit more. I think Kabuto will be a great Ashmon. Possibly. I mean, everything could be a great Ashmon if you write it well enough. I definitely attend that, but the only thing I've got so far is that Ash gets a Venusaur. I'll brainstorm it. Yeah, no, exactly. Why did you bait us with the polls thinking Tingle and Cubone were up to something? I didn't bait you with the polls. I just took a screenshot from the episode. It's up to you guys to interpret what that means. And they were up to something. They were play fighting. It's kind of the fun part about Cubone is that she's kind of like, you'd think a Pokemon has to be one personality trait, which is she's the tough girl with, and she's like a delinquent. But with that, she's also a huge fucking nerd. Like, it's not like Tangle was like, let's play this game, and she was like worn down. No, she was fully invested, Like, she's a dork, but she's tough. She's a tough dork, but she's still a dork. And it's my favorite part about her. Cubone's so much fun to write. Give us a shiny Sneasel in place of shiny Noctowl, possibly. The first thing I played a Pokemon game was Pokemon Sword, and my final team for champions was Inteleon, Corviknight, Hatterene, Maractus, Hitmonlee, and Eternatus. That's a great team. What would Beedrill think of Arbok and Jinx? He'd like him, I think. I don't think, like, Arbok is like Ash a lot. He's very similar to Ash. Like, if Ash were to have a battle bond with any of his Pokemon, it would be Beedrill. Like, they are so on the same wavelength. So he'd have the same opinions of them as Ash, Please don't give Ash starters. I love the randomness, how we don't know what Pokemon we're going to get, and giving him a star just feels like the same situations. Don't worry, Shueiblood. The way I go about it is that I don't try and avoid starters. If I do implement a starter, it will not be every region. It won't just be the odd man out. But starters come with a lot of risk. I do my best to not give Ash aces on his team. And some Pokemon can feel like aces. Ninetales feels like a little bit like an ace because it's strong and has the disobedient arc, yada yada. But you'll kind of slowly see the rest of the team close that gap. So you know, it's not as apparent. Like, Golduck's pretty strong right now. Arbok's pretty monstrous. So there's no true ace on the team. I don't like writing aces. It makes them feel too much like the main character. When you give Ash starters, though, they feel like the main characters. And that's just conditioning. Like, if you go over Ash's aces list, 90% of them are starters. So it's not like it's not something that, you're good, Misoji. I'm just hyper and dumb today. But it's not, what's the word? Starters are a very risky thing for me to use. So if you ever see me use them, I'm going to do them in a very delicate and deliberate way to try and take that ace presence off them, you know? And it might mean I don't focus them as much. I don't focus on them as much. It might mean they're more of a Cubone Tangela role where they have kind of a defined personality and they might have a little like waves here and there, but they're pretty static, all things considered. Around what episode did you decide Ash would catch Jinx? I think after the Ninetales episode. I've decided this for a while. Kind of funny, Ash, he getting a Scyther and Johto and bug catching contest and keeping the Scyther and get metal coats and try and get Scizor into this shiny Pokemon, possibly. What is the Pokemon moveset you gave is the most fun? I'm going to be honest, I think it's Jinx's. And that's because Jinx uses all these moves in a different way than you expect. But all of her weird techniques have an origin. Jesus. All of her moves have an origin. So it's not just me, and it's not me being like, oh yeah, she can also do, you know, she can fly because of reflect or something. It's like, no, it's like, if you're going to coat your hands in ice, she's already figured out how to shape ice into a mask. Who's to say she can't do kunai or shuriken or stuff like that? And substitute is a very weird move in general, so making it substitute like Naruto isn't a bad thing in my opinion. It can be used both ways. Some moves can be used, most moves can be used in multiple ways. It's not just the one thing. How come Cubone and Jigglypuff never met? Well, because funny enough, I didn't cut Cubone and Tangela from the episode because I wanted to reduce cast size or anything. I just thought, theoretically, they're both weak to ice. They probably don't like the cold. If they have a chance to stay at the Pokemon Center, they probably would. Arbok also suffers from that, but he wanted to be with friends and go on this new adventure, and he wasn't a fan of the cold, you know? Cubone has a Tumblr profile with her own Undertale AU. She's a huge Sans fan. Don't remove Charizard from the Kanto team. I already did. We're not catching anything Ash has caught before. For those new, that is the golden rule for all of my teams. This entire alternate universe. This is a universe where Ash cannot catch anything he caught before. That includes full evolution lines. Alolan forms and forms of that nature, or Pokemon that evolve into Alolan forms, a little bit more subject to discretion. But the point still stands. Misty comes back with a full team of OP water poke types to defeat Ash, possibly. Yeah, the only exception to that is Crocodile. I do want your opinions on my Ash team, kind of. Pikachu, Ivysaur, Poliwrath, Arcanine, Pinsir, and Clefable. Interesting team. I give it a 7 out of 10. Like, you still got, you got Ivysaur and Poliwrath there, which are very clear, red references, almost. I don't know if that's your intention or not, but that's the way my visual brain cues it. But still, Pinsir's great, Clefable's great, Arcanine's great, yeah. Who did Ash meet at the dock after episode 12? Just some random guy. Not really, it's not really important, you know? It's not like a guy. Oh, so fun fact, the area where Ash was trapped in the blizzard with Ninetales, the cave, is where is it? Where is it? There it is. I can't see chat right now. Let's pull chat back up. Pull this file. But the snow cave is actually, and I planned it like this. I just screenshotted it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. It's from this episode where Ash and his Pokemon, like, they heat him up and keep him warm, and it's such a touching moment, yada, yada, yada. But I thought, what better place for them to have the heart-to-heart than have a reference back to this? Wow, we have 52 viewers. We're doing fucking great. By the way, next episode should be on production time this time. I had a lot of shit going on in the final week, but the next episode will be very easy for me to write and will not be as like this, where it requires, this has a lot more action. It's nice because we saw more. Okay, we still good. I saw something pop up that said update, so hopefully we're still good. The heart-to-heart moment in the cave was nice because we saw more expressions for Ninetales than our usual bored, angry expressions. 100%. And it's trying to show that Ninetales is multifaceted. And for those who think that, what's Ninetales' backstory? You know, what is Ninetales' backstory? You know, way back. Is it just because it paused? You know, okay, cool. Yeah. If you're gonna mention the mic, just write, you know, it lost you for a split second or crunchy and stuff. Don't be generic about it. It's you know, because then I can't tell immediately. Cool, we're back to it. But with Ninetales, she just grew up on a very feral survival of the fittest island. You know, that's it. Like I mentioned before in the episode where Ninetales appears or Beedrill said goodbye, is that the island is full of very, yeah, like the island is very dangerous. The League does not have a lot of people out there to help corral the Pokemon or kind of like help keep everything in order. So everything is very strong and very vicious. So Ninetales just grew up in that environment where like fighting is for survival. It's very equivalent to real life animals, where like you don't like real life animals aren't like, we're gonna box it out right now. It's like kind of like especially predators. It's like if I get hurt, I die. You know, if I can't eat, I die. You know, it's like it's very like I have to do this and I have to be careful about this because I will die. You know, stuff like that. Who do I think has the best personality of Ash's Pokemon? I think Cubone's the most multifaceted. I think Golduck is probably the most solid that I like. Pikachu has been a lot more fun to explore now that I can actually have them talk. Will legendary Pokemon be like Greek gods where they can choose a hero to represent them? Probably not like that. I don't know. We're gonna delve more into legendaries once I get to the Mewtwo movie and the Pokemon 2000 movie. Please give Jenna. I'm not gonna read any more comments to say please give. Will any of the Elite Four and Champions of your world be replaced by characters not named Ash? Possibly. I mean, like, there's always, things are always changing, so there's possibility for that. Did I see Zaktoshi's What If Charizard Stay with Ash? No, I gotta watch it still. I didn't watch it because I saw Charizard. Cuban learns the horrors of searching Sans, Undertale, and Google. That's 100%. Put ATR Ash and Canon Ash's Pokemon teams and spares all in an all-out brawl. Who's the last man standing? I think it would be Golduck. And I think because he's the smartest of any of that group, so he would kind of know to, like, wait things out and let everyone else duke it out. And, before stepping in to clean up the job. I've thought about Cubone evolving into Alolan Marowak. It's kind of been my one thing where I'm like, I don't want to wait all the way to Gen 6 for Cubone, or Gen 7 for Cubone to evolve. But also, I haven't read it yet, but on TikTok, I got, like, someone posted the pages and with some music in the background. So I saw the Festival of Champions of Agatha's Marowak in action, and it got me really inspired. So, out of the team right now, who is each Pokemon the closest with? Pikachu, it's probably Golduck. Golduck, it's Tangela and Pikachu, you know, but really, Golduck and Tangela are probably closest to each other of everyone. Cubone and... Actually, I would say Cubone and Pikachu are pretty synonymous as a duo in my head. Ninetales not with any of them. Arbok and Tangela. If there are any Paldean Pokemon you could give Ash, who would they be? I'd probably do some of the Paradox forms. Like, I think Iron Bundle would be fun. Iron Thorns would be great, and Iron Tread. For the non-Paradox, or for the past Paradox, I'd probably do something like Slitherwing or Fluttermane would be fun, though that's just kind of using Mischievous. Brute Bonnet, you know, or even any of the legendary dogs or legendary beasts in their Paradox form. Because I'm still debating how those work. Ceruledge would be fun. Dolive. We're gonna see Giselle's grandpa. You mentioned episode 2. Yes. Let me get this off screen. Is Jinx the Kingler replacement? Does this also mean we won't see Jinx bucks? No, don't think about any of the future Pokemon Ash catches, like, beyond his original 6 as, don't think of them as replacements. None of these guys are replacements for other Pokemon. So it's never like I'm going to be like, well, this is my Kingler equivalent, so we're not going to see that until the league. It's not that. It is a completely new team with a new structure of how I do things. Like, my goal moving forward when I get to other future regions, is my future goal is that Ash will rotate some of his older Mons back onto the team to help teach his newer Mons. So for my my top 3 Mons are Golisopod, Mega Mawile, and Helioptile. Other than Delcatty. Also Genesect. Man, we are killing it on viewers right now. I'm so pumped. How's the video doing? Let's do a little video check, guys. Let's see how it's doing. We're rated a 4 out of 10, but we're up to 1,500 views. It's not doing as well as Ash's Verse Tournament, Ash vs. Gary, or Ash's Team Saves Togepi, but it's not as clickbaity as a title. So I expect that. I've had a good string of, like, these are something people would click on. But 4 out of 10 ain't bad. I ain't mad about that. Let's see. By the way, funnily enough, I also thought of a Marowak for Ash ATR, just rather than the Chuni's Sukeban Cubone, it's a Goth Idol Alola Marowak. That's cool. That's what I love. That's the shit I love, is when I see you guys coming up with really creative personalities for Pokemon. And it's not like you went the complete opposite. You're like, well, Ceremonial Flames, Ghost type, Alola and Marowak, like, it mixes into the Alola Marowak. It's not just a little opposite of what people would give an Alola Marowak. It's a cool, unique thing. I love that stuff. It's why I post the what Pokemon would you give Ash polls of, like, different varieties of what electric type would you give Ash? What do this? Because I like to see what your guys' thought process is about. And also, I want you guys to think outside the box. You know, because generally anyone on those lists could be an Ash Pokemon. It's just sort of like, what's your preference? Because preference is a big thing that comes into making these Ash teams. That's not something I really judge off of. But, like, you can give Ash Nidoking and stuff. And just because I prefer not to doesn't mean you're wrong for doing it, even though if I say it's like a generic pick for Ash, a Nidoking and stuff. It doesn't mean it's a bad pick, because you can give it a cool personality or do whatever, or even be generic about it. Not every Pokemon needs to be this special snowflake. There is one Pokemon, I'll give you a little hint, not a hint, but a little spoiler, Swablood, who's based off a One Piece character. I have one Pokemon that I'm giving Ash that's based off a One Piece character, and I'll say who once they are caught, but it's a fun thing. If I made Gym Leader Norman's team, it would be Spinda, Zangoose, and Slacking. That's a great team. So what inspired Ninja Jinx, and why add another Pokemon Ash's team? I wanted to show off, I like to show off mechanics of the region. One of the things that original Kanto showed off was what happens when you catch more than 6 Pokemon. Now, moving forward, Ash is generally going to catch 5 new Pokemon every region to fill out the team. He's never, like, you're never going to see this level where he catches 3 additional or 2 additional Pokemon, possibly 1 additional. But don't expect it. Usually, like 99% of the time, it will be 5 Pokemon he catches. So for Kanto, I wanted to show off that Ash caught more than 1 Pokemon. And what happens to those Pokemon in the meantime, you know? So it's a fun little thing. How many weeks until the next episode? 3. Hopefully officially this time. 3 weeks, you know? I didn't look into it, Pedro, but I did see they did release start for the new Ben 10 comic. They look weird, but it's cool. You know, it's its own thing. So I'm eager to look into it. I have not read Festival of Champions yet. I got to read it. Because the battles look sick, and the way they do them, from what I've glimpsed, is ways I would do battles, you know? With how much of an asshole Jigglypuff is, his relationship with the team when he would catch while just be Cubone throwing her beer bottles, I mean, if he dare do anything, something else other than singing, possibly. I really fucked up that sentence. Has there been any fanfic which you would still check updates for, even if it has not been updated in months? 100%. I mean, like, I haven't caught up with it. I gotta reread it. You know, Traveler, one of the things that have inspired me. But I other stories. I'm not gonna go into what I read fanfic wise. That's private. But Traveler, I'll be open about. So will Jinx be like the mentor of Ash catches Greninja? Ash isn't getting Greninja. You caught Greninja. Best episode so far had me hooked. Great. I'm glad. Hopefully I did the battle justice. I'm trying to get better about stuff. Some things don't play out as I want, but other times, I'm trying to make them as cool as possible. I think of Pelipper, who's kind of less lazy version of Ash's Rowlet. That'd be fun. Will Ash catch any Pokemon in the Orange Islands? Yes, 2. I feel like the Paradox Beast in the future just sure is weird to me and decide if it's okay to use or not. Yeah, it's kind of a weird nebula zone because it's like they're not technically legendary Pokemon, but like you could make them legendary very easily because they look like legendary Pokemon. I felt like making an ATR of my own after seeing all the fan-made teams. 100% go for it. The best thing you can do is start making stuff. Like, if you spend forever in the planning, like, I didn't plan to make this series. I mean, I planned to make it at 10K. I didn't plan to make it this early. I just ran out of content. And I was never going to make it as well as this. Like, every episode is an improvisation. It improves on the previous one. And that's my goal. And that's what you guys will do if you make your own series, is that you just work hard to make them better than the last one. You don't have to have art skills. You don't have to have editing skills. You just got to start creating because you will naturally get better as long as you constantly strive to get better. That's a little thing people don't talk about. They think, just because you're making stuff, it's going to get better. It won't. You got to actually try to make it better. Like there's some effort into it. But there are some natural skills you'll get by making things better. Like I learned a neat trick in After Effects of how to make a process of like when the Pokemon, I have to flip them around or they have to be at a different angle. I found a way to make it a button. So I just click that and that happens. And I don't have to go through and do a bunch of like small typing things. I'm so hyper right now. I know Ash is nowhere near his league, but will Ash and the gang encounter Giovanni? Possibly. Do you have any idea of how to write personalities for non-animal Pokemon? Yeah, just honestly, just think about your team. Think about what would interesting. Look at characters in anime and fiction and whatever, and be like, is there traits there that you like that you could apply to this Pokemon? Take a Hitmonchan or Hitmonlee, for example. It has stretchy legs, like it has stretchy legs in the manga. So what if who stretches? You could make him kind of smart, like a Mr. Fantastic, or you could make him a goofball, very happy, like loves eating and everything, like a Luffy or something. I think Garbodor would be a good Gen 5 teammate. It could have a hangry-like personality. Exactly. Blame battle? Soon. Like, possibly next episode soon. I'm still deciding whether I'm going to have a bye episode in between this one and the Blame battle, but I feel like we've gone... I think most likely we'll do Blame battle next episode. I thought about a Drowsy that was given by Sabrina to help Ash have a stronger connection with his Pokemon, where they can sense each other's motions, like kind of giving a stronger bond with each achievement. That's awesome. I like that. What's up, Megazord? Were Mons like Hitmonlee, Hitmonchan ever an option for the ATR team? 100% yes. I'm never worried, like, when it comes to comparing Pokemon to the original team, that's always going to happen for me. You're always going to, even if you're not actively doing it, I think subconsciously, everyone will always look at my team, especially if you're a new viewer, and you're going to compare them against the old team. And maybe from a surface level, you like the old team more. Totally understandable. They're the OGs. In any region. The goal for mine is that as you watch my episodes, you like my team and stuff. It doesn't mean you have to prefer it over the old one, but you like watching them, you like what I've done here. That's always my goal, is to make sure you guys enjoy the Pokemon I give Ash. And the companions I give Ash. If Ash's Pokemon with Beedrill, Pikachu, Beedrill, and Jinx included, who do you think will win in a fight? Nothing. It might be Ninetales. And honestly, it might be it's going to come down to Ninetales versus Golduck, and it's really the question of who fights who and how is Arbok handled, because Arbok will be a menace. How come Lorelei didn't show up? Seems like the perfect place. I got a plan for where Lorelei shows up. Oh, why is Jinx a ninja? In universe, actually. No one asked that. I mean, I think people asked that before when they asked, why is Jinx a ninja? Why is Jinx a ninja in the universe? Okay, checking for updates. Happen real fast. God, that can... Is my mic back? Cool. it paused momentarily. Great. Why is Jinx a ninja? Are we crunchy mic again? Are we back? Oh. Are we back? We non cool. We're back. So why is Jinx a ninja? Great. Yeah, I unplugged my thing real fast and plugged it back in. This sounds a little weird in my ears. I'm gonna lower this slightly. All right, cool. So why is Jinx a ninja? All right, there we go. Now that sounds better in my ears. Why is Jinx a ninja? The reason that Jinx is a ninja is because Koga would go train with Janine at times in the Seafoam Caverns. Oh, is it still crunchy? It sounds so weird in my ears. Whatever. We're gonna roll with it. So Koga would essentially, the Ninjas of Fuchsia would go train in the Seafoam Caverns. So as a smoochum, Jinx saw them train and was very inspired by them. And so decided to become a ninja herself. Can you meet Wobbly Mike? I knew it sounded weird. I think we're back to normal now. I think we're back to good. I swear I'm gonna fix this before. Let's see if I can close this. Does that help? Is that better? The only reason I adjusted that is because it sounds a little wobbly in my ears. But yeah, so, what you call it? Yeah, so Koga trained in the Seafoam Caverns. Jinx saw that as a smoochum and decided to become a Jinx. Does Jinx just look mad all the time underneath the mask? No, she looks like a... Oh. Okay, I saw that. Are we back to normal? That was weird. I do not know why this thing is doing this. I gotta trash this and get a new one. I do not know why it's doing this shit. So, yeah, that wasn't a voice crack. That was the mic just fucking up randomly. I do not know why it did that. This is the first time this has ever happened, by the way. I've never had this problem in my fucking life, so I don't not know why it's doing it. But we sound back to normal. We won't be going for too much longer, I don't think. Yeah, Ninetales randomly found a Firestone on the island. So, I'm like waiting for, the comments are kind of paused, so I'm just waiting for, the thing to go up. That wasn't me, Axo. That was the mic. Freed and Cap, I didn't see that comment before you deleted it. How dare you? But, yeah, so that's why Jinx is a ninja. It's, just one of those things. Yeah, it's just me versus the fucking mic. It's not even the mic. It's the thing that connects, that the mic plugs into, that's fucking up. But yeah, so, we will, any tips for my what if Koga sponsor dash? Start him off with a poison type. I think that's pretty clear. And maybe train Ash to be a ninja, honestly. Like, have Ash practice ninja skills. I'm not going to reveal what One Piece character it is. You guys will see. Yeah, but Jinx looks like a normal Jinx underneath that mask. If Legends Galar is true, which theoretical Gmax would you think would be best for ATR usage? I don't know. I mean, Gigantamax Ninetales or Golduck or even Tangrowth or Marowak. If Ash could teach himself any move, what would he learn? Hyper Beam. If Ash catches a new Pokemon, can we get a teaser or a puzzle before the episode? Would be fun to speculate. Possibly. I mean, like, not for every catch, but for some catches. I mean, like, you had that for Arbok, where, like, the whole buildup of the tournament was people thinking Ash is going to get the prize Pokemon, only for me to be like, haha, no. How would I characterize some N, especially with someone like Ash? For mine, I'm not sure yet. I'm still going over that, because that needs an Ash that develops more before I confront him with N. Can you meet with, but, you know, it's sort of like Pokemon loving nature, you know, it depends on how you write Unova. That's kind of it's very broad. Can you meet Whitney, throw a tantrum and refuse to hand the blame badge? Possibly. I don't know. We'll see when we get to Johto. We're going to explode. My thought process is a bunch of weak Pokemon that become strong when they evolve. I like that. I think this is where we'll end off stream here. My mic is being super weird. I don't know if it's still weird. But we'll end off, we're going to end off stream for now. I'm going to fix this mic problem, but we'll have more streams throughout the week. We'll have polls, everything. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. It's been fun. Talk to you later.